Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, September 6th, 8:45 a.m. here in the Arizona desert, trying to get back to doing this daily. Anyway, BitcoinDailyView.com. As everybody knows, this weekend was glorious. So, here's the big deal. On the daily chart, we're above the 200 moving average here, the white moving average, and that's glorious, and we're pulling away from it. The trick is we just need to keep this positive MACD on the daily. As you can see, the blue, the MACD, has crossed the signal, the red, and it's kind of struggling to stay there. The histogram is beginning to open up in a positive direction, so we'll see how that goes. I have an alert set for that in TradingView, and that's really something that I'm watching. I want to see, some velocity to this. Let's see if that histogram is going to keep growing and the MACD is going to keep moving in a positive direction. Right now, it's really close. It could kind of go either way. So I'm kind of watching to see how this daily candle closes today and see how the MACD goes. Also the 2-hour MACD is a very powerful indicator for Bitcoin, I have found. And as we can see here, it's a little bit indecisive. It could be moving towards another negative cross. Usually a 2-hour MACD cross towards the positive or negative definitely shows the inclination of which way the daily is going. So I have noticed anyway. Um, it's been a glorious weekend. I hope you made money, and a lot of alts doing good. So let's just see how this goes. Another chart to look at here is the 45-minute chart. I started this Fibonacci retracement here on 31st of August, and that's where we see it moving up. And it really does match this chart. I mean, the price action and the fib really are pretty tight, looking good. So I thought quite possibly, I was thinking, man, while I was watching this thing go sideways, I was thinking we could be in for a BART pattern for sure. But as it ends up, that did not happen. We kind of came down to the 236 fib line here at around 50,829. I didn't quite make it to it, but we did wick very close to it. So also, you can see where this was previous support and resistance in the past. So we didn't quite wick to that, and now we're moving back up. We're back to kind of the BART hairline, basically, pattern. And overall, looking at Bitcoin, um, we'll see. I'm just kind of watching. Let's just see if the what the price action does today. Looking at the indicators, it really is, to me personally, in a situation where it could go either way. Looking at the directional index and the ADX, they're both positive, but they are trending down a little bit. Squeeze indicator definitely is beginning to cool off. It was dumping there earlier. KRI is back in the green. Lazy Bear wave trend oscillator has turned positive right there in the buy zone, well, in the possible play zone, basically. So let's see how this rolls out. I'm kind of being patient. I'm really happy because, I mean, this is just depending on how you play things, what you're trading. Let's look at the forecast here. If you just look at since the end of August 31st, if you've been in since then, you're up 11% in 5 days, 15 hours. I mean, that's pretty darn good for Bitcoin. So anyway, I'm just chilling, seeing what happens. The big thing today, really, that I'm looking at is I'm just watching this. I have an alert set. I just want to see if this positive daily MACD holds. If it does, if it starts to move, if we get some nice histogram opening up there and looks like it's going to, stick, then we're good to go. I want to see this get a little bit more. Either I want it to, go trend back to the negative or trend to the positive. But either way, let's do something decisive. We've had a lot of pump, and we had the beginning of a retrace here, but it looks like maybe it's not going to happen. And anyway, the 236 does definitely have some previous support and resistance. And if I wanted to get a little bit crafty, since we're all hanging out here, let me actually do this. Let's have a little fun. I'm just going to take this part of the chart here. Out there, I'm going to fire up a VPVR. And let's check it out. Yeah, now check that out. Okay, so we call this the POC line, whatever that stands for. But the greatest volume in this visible range here is right at 51,151, and that kind of matches the 382 fib line at 50,002. Also, you have this nice volume bump here right at the 236 fib line. So everything is kind of lining up. It looks like we could have bounced at a very logical spot. And if we dump further, there's definitely areas of 236 at 50,829 and in the 382 at 50,002. Let's just see what happens. You can screenshot this if you want or run it yourself, but definitely we'll see. We're back at the BART hairline, so let's see if we stay there. it's all about what happens today. We're gonna find out, by golly. Looking at Ethereum, through all this pumping, Ethereum has been tremendously boring. It's just been going sideways. So, as Bitcoin does stay above the 200 moving average, which it is, the longer it stays there, and the more confidence we have that it's going to move in a positive direction or continue consolidating sideways, we'll see all start to move. Many are, of course. I'm kind of expecting Ethereum to make a pop at some point. Uh, right now, its indicators are definitely pretty chill. I mean, it is at the psychological barrier of for a 4K, and those things they do matter. So you can see, I mean, there's the here's like kind of the 4K barrier that it's working on. I mean, it's got to get above that psychological barrier. A lot of so we shall see what happens there. Anyway, anything else to look at real quick? Let's look at Sol. It's doing great things recently. How's that looking? Oh, it's great. Um, this is one that I'm watching here to get back in on. Right now it's playing with its previous high. Let's see if it can break above that. It's doing great. It'll do great if Bitcoin does great. How about Doge, USDT? How's that doing? Doing good. It took a nice dump with Bitcoin this morning. Indicators are a little weak, but maybe that one will keep running. Let's look at SHIB, USDT. How's that looking? SHIB took a big dump, wicked below the 200 moving average, but it's making a nice bounce. Not a, well, I mean, a little bit risky, but not the worst little buy zone if you have confidence in that continuing to move up. Got some good price action there for a bounce. What else is there? How about ETH, BTC? This is a trade. I mean, I love to get in when I can. Look at that, ETH, BTC. Ethereum is riding that 200 moving average really hard here on the 45-minute chart. Indicators show a possible uptrend. So let's see. I do think ETH could start making a move if Bitcoin just consolidates sideways for a while or begins to move up a little bit more gently. I would love to see ETH outpace Bitcoin. Be a great swing trade to get in on. I always love getting in on those. I mean, if you can, because you're making more Bitcoin and you're in ETH. I mean, it's great if it dumps. You're in ETH. If whatever. I don't mind if I kind of blow the trade a little bit, it doesn't quite go the way I want it. ETH BTC is great because I have confidence that, I don't know. It's just not a bad place to be. Anyway, tired this morning. Sorry if I'm babbling. Anyway, this all looks good to me. Trying to get back to doing this every day. I will do my best. So anyway, everybody, remember, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit banker cry. This is going to be a great week. I'm watching to see what happens. Let's see, is Bitcoin going to retrace like crazy, or is it going to hold these gains that it made? Going to bounce off one of these fib levels? I don't know. I'm feeling pretty positive overall. These indicators look pretty good. Looks like Bitcoin's just kind of cooling off and going sideways right now. Let's find out. Like I say, put an alert in for that daily MACD. If it can stay positive and begin to widen in the positive direction, I think we're definitely going to have a glorious week, and the bulls must run. So take care.